successful. What we discovered in that process is that when sidewalks are poured, they're typically poured on a sand or gravel surface. And when you lift the sidewalk portion back up again, you'll see a uneven surface on the bottom. And so when we put the sidewalk back down, it wobbles. And so we have to readjust the whole base upon which the sidewalk is placed in order to accommodate these pits and holes in the bottom of the sidewalk. So it turned out to be very time consuming. And our third option is we have a saw cutting contract as well. So when we have sidewalks that are lifted by more than 1.5 inches, typically 50% of the width of the sidewalk, we can, or less than, I'm sorry, 50% of the width of the sidewalk, we can have our saw cutter go out and horizontally cut those sidewalks so that they are a smooth surface.
What I was talking about is an epoxy-based product that's made by American Concrete Systems, and there's other companies as well that can be poured as thin as 1/8 of an inch up to 1.5 inches. And it's used for concrete repair. It's a little bit more expensive than asphalt to use, but it's about the same time period, cure period.
Why don't you send us some information?
Yeah. I'm not an expert
We'll look
on
at
this.
it.
I'm just wondering if you're using any of the newer type products.
We aren't using epoxy. We usually use asphalt or concrete.
Send us some information. We'd be delighted to take a look at it.
Google.
Any additional questions for Mike?
Well, I just wanted to give a little bit of additional input on that subject. I have fallen twice in Alameda's Heights, tripping on sidewalks that were raised up maybe 1/2 inch or so. You know, just walking along and catching my shoe on it. And I broke a tooth in one instance. So I was wondering why the city can't just go through and put something on all of those without us reporting them, but just actually doing a walkthrough of the city and repairing those, because it's really a danger to people to have those 40 miles.
Yeah, that's kind of a big undertaking to walk all of our sidewalks, and I'd actually prefer to know those locations so that we can react to them more quickly. And Go Long Beach is a perfect way to do that. If you're
I'm glad to learn about that.
Yeah, the two things I would say is, yeah. Mike doesn't have the staff. If he did, we'd cut it. He doesn't have the staff to have people walk out and look at sidewalks. So we are to an extent committing to it, but for something like that, we should be able to fix that, relatively quickly. It's not like a massive sidewalk issue that's thousands and thousands of dollars. We need it in the capital plan and got to find the funding to do in the annual budget. Those sorts of things can be fixed through maintenance dollars. We just need to know about them. And I'll tell you, there are some neighborhoods that are very proactive. Some neighborhood associations will walk a district or walk their neighborhood and give us a long list of stuff, and then we put it in queue and we work through it. There are other neighborhoods that aren't.
Well, that makes more sense than an individual reporting one sidewalk. It would be much better to report an entire area is what.
Yeah, like if Alameda's Heights Improvement Association would take that on and have a volunteer walk those things and give us a list, and we'd rather do that too. If you can give us a list of all the cracks on Flint and all the ones on Manila and all the ones on Winslow, we'll get out and get it addressed.
Much more efficient.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you.
You're welcome. Linda.
Tony Gentile and I walked the whole peninsula.
Yes.
And we categorized the gravity of the issues on the sidewalks and the curbs and you name it. And it was an educating experience, wasn't it, Tony?
Yeah, and then, so by prioritizing it, the city came out, you guys came out, and you had a certain amount of sidewalk you could do this year.
Right.
And so we got the worst ones done, and I guess we'll be doing that each year.
And truly, from both our perspectives, we do want to respond to the neighborhood's priorities. Yes, there's only a certain amount of funding, but if you'll tell us what your priority list, we'll get through it as far as we can, and we'll cut it off when we run out of money, and let us know what your priorities for next year, and we'll pick up where we left off. We are 1:31, so if you have any other questions for Mike, you'd be happy to stay up for minutes, but thank you very much.
And Alan said, I did we? And Alan just started driving. As I drove by, I was the last couple of days. That's what I did. Wasting a lot of money. It's not going to I had my public service guys go up. There wasn't anything bigger than them show up. One thing all, Took me a while to find it. Hoping that you doing anything with the Playhouse? Not that I'm aware of. I'm actually pretty busy with I have several leagues going on to put cameras in at various locations. Cameras in businesses? Yeah. You mean security cameras? Yeah. By the way, do you know that might trigger some interest in getting that don't already have a security system? They might say, it's time to get it.
I'm working on a few contacts going out, Commander Beckman being one of them.
I know. I wasn't. Oh, yeah. That's where it's from. But in terms of not design.
Dan, would you like to make some closing comments for the Democratic Party?
Mr. Lowenthal, hope you had a great summer.
I didn't work for Mr. Lowenthal, but thank you.
No, I'm talking to the camera. What was your name?
Kelsey.
Yeah, they did all the infrastructure.
Kelsey.
She doesn't have any unless she's hungry. I know. No, there's and her husband.
We can come up with a cost, but there is an ongoing.
Have you ever approached anybody in the university
We could put a number together.
Well, I think we need to have that, and then, I mean, other are we gonna hand moderate, who's gonna do that?
Native vegetation type of solution.
Well, that's part of what it is.
I agree to some but there has to be
Established, and
all right, let me rephrase that.
plans of trees in the area.
Regardless of the feedback, you have an answer plan.
I wonder if you could sit down where you are. Is it Michael Ball?
Yeah, they put that.
All right, then they're well capable.
Yeah, they're very capable, and it's not that bad, we just got some money for that would cover the plants, but then I sent out the team, because they're water systems, because when I went down there, it was a festival.
There's a lot landscape
So I can tell you that
water's required, or it's not?
No, I think they can. At least.
No, I was speaking more along the lines of
So,
yeah.
I mean, if it means that somebody's gonna.
I know, I would be there, so I would have seen you.
I mean.
Perfect.
Knows the type of plants that need ongoing watering, or is it just until they take root?
No, no, I mean, they're not like cacti out in the desert. I mean,
Good meeting.
they're.
Always good to see you.
You may want to look at a different palette of, no longer
Yeah.
How about you?
Okay. Well, there are a couple things then. I can work with Michael,
See if we can
and I can work with Michael to figure out how much water does that pallet that he's identified now require, and then if we went to a lower water, you're something, and then, so how much do they have to be changed? And can you let us know what the cost would be to put water in?
I could put a number together, it's probably a little overwhelming.
We'll get that back, like me, $20,000 or something like that.
That's what I was wondering. I just think it's costing me $25,000 to put irrigation into this triangle.
Okay, I think you're.
But we could
Okay,
put a
well,
number.
but I mean, overwhelming, is it gonna be 10,000, or 10,000? It'll be,
One of those three.
it'll be one of, so it'll be at least $10,000.
I expect we have to bring both power and water, dig under our streets.
Because Michael was saying that, what I'll do is I will send you the email that he sent, saying that there are spigots, not spigots, but you know, whatever things are, in close proximity and could.
Power is necessary as well.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay, I'll get you a number.
Okay, and I will talk with him then about the,
And let me give you
yeah, make sure I have your.
There you go.
Because, you know, not all your complaints will calling and emailing,
Okay.
you know, what's going on, we're tired.
I'll try to work with you and figure that out.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it's your fault, but it's just, it'd be nice if we could decide everything. Not everyone have the money to put water, then we need to figure out
A
something else.
different landscape plan.
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
there we go.
all right.
See his emails.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, yeah, we're a number.
We need to move forward.
Was your answer in regards, I know that you pointed out something I was aware of, the fact that Caltrans had kind of one area, another area, and trying to get everything together at one time. But in regards to the timing that so much traffic is released onto Second Street, that people don't, they try to crowd it. But the light here in the arena doesn't click on fast enough, so it doesn't exhaust the overflow.
And that's been looked at a number of times, city traffic.
Oh, yes.
That he has this synchronized adequately for the Pacific Coast Highway. I can't get into the details of that, I'm not a city traffic engineer, but if you want to, I can get you in touch with you. We can sort of talk about. Okay. He's very familiar with
A lot of it has to do with people's perspective. You know, I stood there on that corner, I don't know how long, and I've watched people just run around like, you know, no time. And that's the reactions, and that's like, oh,
Yeah, when you get into those details,
Yeah.
good way.
best I can do.
And in color.
Now, are you handling the design phase for that one corner that now has a
Yes.
Okay.
And that should be done
Going
right
away?
Well,
In other words, getting mowed down?
well, if PBS would be demolished and rebuilt.
Oh, and rebuilt. Because I have a great comfort design, something that's very pleasing as you would come in to Second Street. There's a hospital located in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon, and outside the hospital, they've taken a large parcel of land, very equal to where the bank is, and they built this gigantic, I don't want to call it a pool, but it's kind of like a water feature. There's a lot of easy cascades, and they have benches and stuff out there. And obviously, it's for the people.
So we take pride in making constitutional issues our highest priority.
But I was thinking something easy going like that.
Right, that.
Might calm the area. And it provides a nice pleasing atmosphere.
Okay, next
You know,
time,
people get
do
to
the
kind of
cover
see
so I know what
offset,
it's
they
on.
have some.
And
I have to read it.
what you're discussing involves private property, I only do public property. So as that development comes forward, you should have an opportunity to comment on the design.
Okay.
I think the council member
Which development?
mentioned that the, pardon me?
Which development?
This
The
is
one on the
Hoff
PCH.
Sud.
Okay.
That initial submittal was pretty pedestrian, you know, it was not a pleasing architectural design, so they're gonna come back with another iteration. If you want to provide comments on that, I'm sure it will come to planning commission.
That belongs to Hofseth, the land does?
No, it belongs to a company called, was it Watt Partnership with a major, it's Alameda's Bay Partners, that's the name of it.
Which involves all three.
All three, okay, all right, yeah, I'll keep my eyes
And when that comes forward, there'll be public comment opportunities.
Yeah,
And
because I have photos and stuff, and ever since they had been talking about revising the area, and this would be kind of a nice setting. So last time we were up there visiting family, I took quick photographs, you know, a little bit more detail.
That's an opportunity across Second Street as well, maybe, as the new application comes forward.
You mean take out the Mola gas station?
No, wrong.
Oh, second, okay, yeah. That's, I could speak to Raylan about that. It's a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
Although the strawberry patch people would
Okay.
appreciate it.
Yeah, that's true.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan.
Talk to you soon.
Good, we'll see you later.
All right.
Lovely day, is it not? It's not bad. I see you're all carrying your reusable bags. Yes, yes, yes.